Welcome back to Happiness Habitat. I'm joined today by a very special guest, Jasmine Khorsandi, the CEO and founder of SonoBreasts. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I first learned about you through Instagram because you are crazy amazing on there. And you have so many beautiful clients. And I learned about you through the Explore page. And I'm like,
Right,
you know what? Instead of going through a classic mammogram,
right,
we discussed this. I'm a little bit too young to have all that radiation. So I came here to get a sonogram.
right.
And that is how we first met. And it was the most beautiful experience, extraordinary experience. And I'd love for you if you could just talk a little bit about what SonoBreasts is.
Okay. So there's a lot of women like you that are young and you are 31 years old. So you're not even ready for a mammogram. You don't need to start radiation from the age of 31. So I created Sonobreast for women like you in their 20s, in their 30s, and then also for women with dense breast tissue.
Mhm.
So women have a type of tissue called dense breast tissue. Most of us have it. And when you have dense breast tissue and you go for your standard mammogram, 50% of breast cancers are missed in dense breast tissue in mammograms.
Crazy.
So women come here because they have dense breast tissue, they're young, and they just want to do a screening that doesn't have any radiation, any smashing of the breast. And, the clients that come here are more on like the holistic side of health.
That's amazing. And can you talk about too just the technology of SonoSign? Because I know
Yeah.
that's the technology that you're using.
Right.
And obviously there's sonograms like when you're pregnant and
Right.
what makes that technology different, SonoSign,
Right.
for versus just obviously having some type of, looking for pregnancy
Right.
type of things?
So the standard ultrasound, there's a lot of human error. The technician holds the probe
Mm.
and takes a couple of pictures, and there's a high probability something could be missed because there's a lot of human error. With SonoCiné, it's an automated whole breast ultrasound. So the robot is recording the 3,000 images of your breast tissue and your lymph node. So it's
Cute.
like a super duper thorough test of every single inch of tissue, so nothing is missed.
That's so cool. And are there any ever, I mean, as you mentioned, right, if you have dense breast tissue,
Right.
50% of those, right, that's
50%, and that's
so high.
it's so
And
high.
even I think what's the other percentage, I have it as well. I think it's, oh, 20%
Uh-huh.
of breast cancers are not detected by screening mammograms. It's in general. So at what point, why is this not more popular? Or why is this not, necessarily covered by insurance and everyone should come here instead of doing a mammogram?
Unfortunately, if you do not take your health in your own hands, America has a sick healthcare
Mhm.
system. So, to be honest, I've been in health for the last 10 years. And at this point, there's enough evidence showing that the mammogram is missing so many cancers. And it's like they know, and no one's really doing much about it. So, you have to.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you go and get your mammogram right now and you have dense breast tissue, a doctor needs to tell you you need to do an ultrasound. But it says it on the report that they mail it to your house, but nobody's going to read the report. So they
Right.
miss it. So most people that come here do the research. They're on top of their health.
So did I just skip a step then having to do the mammogram? Because, obviously I came here,
Right.
found a benign cyst, benign, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But would they have necessarily found that in a
No,
mammogram?
most cysts are not even detected on mammograms. Little
That's
things are
crazy.
missed. Yeah, and I'm so passionate
Wow.
about this because my friend from high school, her mom passed away because the mammogram missed the cancer. And
Wow.
she had super dense breast tissue and she was like 42 years old. And nobody,
42.
very young,
Wow.
and nobody, told her, hey, go do an ultrasound. And ultrasound works for all types of tissue, especially with smaller breasts, dense breast
Right.
tissue. So people who have really large breasts, they're more on the fatty side.
Hmm.
You and I were more on the dense.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And so even, I mean, mammograms as well, there's a tendency, right? If you have implants, they can pop if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
older or rupture. So really the healthcare system is just, it's old.
It's
It's old
barbaric.
and it's not, this is really where everyone should go. Is there ever a time or place when both mammogram and this are recommended, do you feel?
So, I never say don't do the mammogram
Yes.
because that's everybody's choice and that's, what they want to do with their health. Most doctors say yes, do both, but it's really up to the person and on their path. It's great to get a baseline, throw it in when you're 40, see if you have any calcifications. I'm not
Yeah,
saying don't do it, but people don't want to do it every single year because
right.
the radiation, it can cause something to happen.
Right. And what is that? So the radiation, right, that you
Yeah.
get from a mammogram, couldn't that over a long period of time just be more harmful,
Yes.
especially if you don't have anything?
100%.
So okay, if you guys are watching this,
One
come on in. So let's talk about the patient experience as well, because I will say, I mean, right now we're here at your beautiful space, and I feel so tranquil and so wonderful. And that's what I felt like when I came in as a patient. I came in here and it smells amazing. It feels warm. Can we talk about the patient experience?
Yeah. So being in this space for 10 years, I've noticed that most doctors' offices, there's like these bright LED lights.
The worst.
The worst.
It's the worst.
The stirrups,
Yeah.
the white jacket, and like that whole vibe makes you feel like something is wrong with you. Like you're sick.
Do you think that is the intention? I mean,
Maybe. Oh, I don't know.
that's some beautiful art at least.
It's just the walls are white, it's the lights, the jacket, everything
Yeah.
was very like intense and the
Mhm.
energy is very cold. So that would freak me out. So I thought, hey, why not create a warm space for women to come and feel safe? Because the appointment is scary. People are living in fear. People are scared to do it. But when you create a space, you give someone a cup of tea, when you have a conversation with somebody, it's like they're coming to a friend's house to hang out. So people don't want to leave this space. And it makes all the difference when you look into someone's eyes, you ask them, how's your day? You connect to them. It's not just about coming in, getting the scan, and going. I have like a really strong connection with all my clients for the past 10 years.
That's beautiful. Are there ever, I'd love to just touch on stories as well.
Sure.
Like, can we learn just about some of the stories that you've had with your patients? Because, like you said, mammograms do miss things. And so
Right.
when you're here, you have the opportunity, like for me, for example,
Right.
because there's history in my family,
Yeah.
I'm going to get an MRI, right? Or just
Right.
like keep going down that path. But what if I did the mammogram and they never found a cyst? Even though cysts are very normal.
Yeah.
What are some of your stories that you have where you're like, wow, like I'm so grateful that I have this place for people.
Right. Recently, I had a patient come here. It was her first time, and she was doing something called thermograms. Have you heard of them?
That sounds so familiar,
Like
but I
with
don't know what that
heat.
is. Okay.
So they told her that the mass that they found in her breast is just like a benign fibroadenoma. So she
Mm.
thought the past couple of years what they were scanning was just something like benign, which is fibroadenomas are very common,
Sure.
so normal. So she came here for like another opinion, and it was like a 5 centimeter cancer.
No way.
Yes,
And
and
the health industry that you rely on missed that.
they told her it's just like something benign. And when she came here, we're like, that's not a fibroadenoma. You like, I don't know where you're going and who's even diagnosing that. Like, you can't rely on heat
Right.
to diagnose something that's serious. Because a lot of people are doing something called thermograms, but they're not accurate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are there ever kind of like stories where people find things and it's like, you have that peace of mind?
All the
Or-
time. Oh my God, another
yeah.
client, she went for her mammogram, completely normal at St. John's Hospital. And then she felt something in her breast.
Oh.
Yeah. So St. John said they didn't even do an ultrasound. They said it was completely normal. And then I think 2 months later, her husband booked her an appointment to come to me. Huge cancer. So it was like she looked at me. She's like, they told me like 2 months ago at St. John's everything is normal. But I said, yeah, you have dense breast tissue. The technology
Right.
doesn't work for
Right.
your type of tissue. So it's really, we have to be the CEO of our own health. You
Yeah.
can't trust anybody but yourself and you know what I mean? You have to do the research.
Yeah, you do. I mean, okay, so according to recent studies, around 1 in 8 US women, so 13% will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of their lifetime. 1 in 8. So like you just said, people it's missed sometimes
Yeah.
in the traditional workspace or the
Yeah.
traditional healthcare. What are some of the common health concerns that females are coming in for to check for their breasts? Besides maybe if it's the use of breast pain or something
Right.
else.
A lot of times it is breast pain. I get a lot of that, which breast pain is like not so alarming to me. Breast pain can happen if your cortisol is high. So when you're stressed, you're drinking too much caffeine.
Mm.
It could be from your hormones. So I think we get a lot of breast pain. A lot of times, the partner will feel a lump in the that's
Oh,
like the most common way to detect a lump in your
that's
breast.
very helpful.
That happens here all the time. The partner feels a lump. The woman never, yeah, most of the time
Interesting.
they don't feel it. The partner feels it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just going back to the breast pain,
Yeah.
does that necessarily mean that's an indicator for something? Or like
No.
you said, that's just high cortisol
Yeah. It
or
could be stress, high
yeah.
cortisol, your hormones. Um, And with pain, if you cut down on the caffeine, you cut down on the stress, you can use castor oil all over your breasts to decrease the inflammation. Usually it could go away. It's
Good.
not, yeah.
Okay. And while we're on that, let's talk about just some of the ways that females, or if you know this, that can reduce the maybe tendency or the percentage to actually have breast cancer. Are there natural ways that
There's so
females
many ways.
can we talk about them?
Yes.
Because I would like to know and
Yes.
implement them.
Yes. Basically, stress is in my health book from, for life. Stress is like one of the biggest culprits I feel that causes cancer because it causes inflammation in your body.
Mhm.
And so decrease
Dis-ease is what I like to say.
disease, yeah,
Dis-ease.
exactly.
Disease, yeah.
Disease, yeah. So stress causes inflammation. It causes things to grow in your body, and your immune system can't do what it's supposed to naturally do because everything in your body is inflamed.
Mm.
So cut down on the stress. You have to have like the tools. I'm not, life gets stressful. I'm not
Yeah.
perfect. No one's perfect. Have the tools for stress. Go on a walk, read a book, journal. You have to find what makes you come back to balance. Cutting out sugar is huge. Honey's okay and agave is okay, but really the artificial sugars and the dyes and all of that stuff,
So it's stress.
yeah, that causes the sugar causes also stress in our
Yeah.
body and in our cells.
That's funny. I earned my certificate as a holistic health coach from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition.
Okay.
And that was the one thing that was just so prominent was stress.
Yes.
Stress. And that's where I learned, the fun way of saying dis-ease. And it's
Mhm.
not fun, but it's
Mhm.
what creates disease is
Yeah.
that, inflammatory response in the body,
Yeah.
which is crazy. What are your favorite ways of just kind of like bringing stress and tranquility into your life? Because obviously, if I feel so at peace here, I
Yeah.
would love to know what it's like, how you bring peace into your home.
I love taking myself on dates,
I love
like
that.
by myself, because I'm around people all the time. So just like taking myself to a nice dinner, going to the spa. I live on the water, so I spend a lot of time at the beach.
The best.
It's the best.
Yes.
Journaling is a huge like release for me. There's so much happens in a day for me. So just having that book to, let it all out. I work with life coaches, I have a therapist.
So that
Yeah, just always
you have a team.
checking. I have a team of, yeah,
You have a
team.
team.
But I think the most important medicine out of everything that I do is like going to the beach every day.
That's beautiful.
It's really it just the iodine in the water relaxes you. You feel calm, connecting to nature. I spend a lot of time outside. I love hiking and being around trees
You
and
said something when we met too about the sun.
yes,
You were like, go in the sun.
yes,
You need the sun.
yeah,
Like, tell me about why is the sun so important? We know that the sun is obviously it's vitamin D. It
yeah,
feels so good. But there's also obviously in the traditional healthcare space,
yeah.
don't go in the sun, causes cancer, skin
Cancer.
cancer.
That's what they
So, but
want us to think.
yes, but you're saying go in the sun.
30 minutes a day in the sun. I do way more than 30 minutes because I love the sun. I know it's so good for you, but it has so many good properties. There's like sun codes that go in your body to make you feel even better. There's the vitamin D. You just feel good. And if you ever feel like you're sick, it helps your immune system. In Europe, when kids were sick, they used to take them outside in their strollers
No
and
way.
put them in the sun. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and people who had, like, the babies who had liver problems, they
Yeah.
all put, like, their bassinets in the hospital outside in the sun for hours.
Wow.
So, it's like, for some reason, in this country, the sun is dangerous, it causes cancer, they wanna sell us sunblock filled with all the cancer
Toxins.
toxins,
Yeah.
so it's like, it's all a system in place because they want us to live in fear and buy into all these products.
Right.
You know, I use sunblock, but it has 2 ingredients, just the beef tallow and zinc.
That's amazing.
That's it, because if you go and you see all the other ingredients, it has, like, 800 ingredients that
Right.
all cause cancer. You can't even read the words because 'cause
No.
they're so long. So it's like they don't want us to know the truth, I feel like.
Yeah, and if only humans realized, like, go back to the roots, the whole
Yeah.
foods, the
Mhm.
non-processed things. Like, I stay away from anything that's packaged or processed. If you look at my fridge, there's nothing. It's just whole foods. Or if you look at, there's no real snacks. I mean, Diego knows this. There's no real snacks. I mean, Diego's really healthy as well. But
It
that's
has to
just,
be.
you have
You
to.
have to be. I mean, your food is so important. You are what you eat. Especially in America, everything is extremely processed.
Crazy.
I know. It's like sometimes I'm like, are they trying to also kill us through our food?
It's
That's
also
how I feel.
That's the first step, I like to say, to wellness,
Yeah.
is about the things that you're putting in your body,
Oh yeah.
because food is medicine.
Food is
If you can
medicine.
allow it to be, or it's toxins,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's either or. And so, as you that work in the health space,
Right.
right? Like, are there certain diets or things that you like to incorporate in your diet to help your just longevity or even breast health? Like, are there
Right.
things that you like to add in?
I cut out alcohol, which is
Amazing.
huge with breast cancer. Huge.
Yes. Okay.
And everything else.
Yeah.
You know, your memory, your brain. I mean, if I'm going to like my cousin's wedding, I'll have 1 glass of champagne as like a
Yes.
ceremonial,
Celebratory.
but I do not socially drink.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do for your brain, your memory, and your body, your health. It's literally poisoning every cell in your body. So I have seen the biggest difference in my body just not drinking. Um, I love dairy, but it's also very inflammatory, so I've had to, cut it out to, like, 80% at
Yeah.
it, um,
It's also the source of the dairy
it's
too.
the source. So if I don't
Right.
do dairy, I'll do
Yeah.
the raw milk, the raw cheese, but besides that, it's we don't have the enzymes to break it down in our body. Um what else? All organic. I'm gluten-free. Not gluten-free in Europe. In Europe, I eat everything.
Love that. I love talking about that too, because in the summer, all these TikToks where people are like, listen,
Yes.
I'm gluten-free in America, but I'm not gluten-free in Europe.
Me too.
But there's actually a difference.
Huge difference.
There's such a difference.
Huge
What's the pasta place in Marina del Rey that imports their dough from,
Waffle.
yes, uovo, yes.
Yeah.
They import their
Okay.
dough from Italy
Yeah.
because they don't like
Yeah.
I guess, the quality of America.
Yeah. Yes. And they're
Very
uh,
telling.
I was in Europe for a month this summer. I ate pasta and pizza and croissants, and I don't eat any of that here every single day, and I lost weight. So when I came back to America, I'm like, you look at the food and it's like you feel bloated here.
Yeah.
It's because they're adding all the pesticides, the
Mm.
chemicals, the sprays, the dyes. Nothing is real here.
There's salmon that actually they have to put on salmon now, which I saw because I'll order things off Instacart. I was looking in Costco at their salmon,
Yeah,
and it says color added.
I know. I've seen that.
Color added, but why?
Why?
Why do we feel like we need to condition Americans to only like the pink salmon? Is it because that's old salmon? Maybe you shouldn't give it to us then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, now we have Robert Kennedy in the house.
Right.
So
We're back.
I'm literally
Mary is gonna get fit again. Mary's not gonna get fit again.
America's gonna get healthy again.
You do.
He's gonna change the face of the earth right now.
Right.
With everything, with the farms and all these sprays. It's like it's not human to spray all of these
No.
like it's just and nothing makes sense. The stuff that they're doing, the chemtrails in the sky, spraying the
I know.
fruits.
I know.
All
And
these stuff that they're adding into our food, it's banned in Europe.
it's hormone disruptors.
Yeah,
It's
all of it to
toxins.
toxins. And why are Americans so obese?
Right.
It's because of the pesticides. The sprays actually cause obesity. So, hopefully Robert can come and
I
clean us
know.
up and we don't have to be worried about what we're eating every day.
It's like, did you ever see those ads in the 50s of like the modern American? And there's these just, college students that are just so physical, like they're just so fit.
So,
And that's the normalcy.
yeah,
It's crazy that we got so far away from that.
it's scary.
And there's cancers at an all-time high now.
I'm picking up cancers here in 25-year-old woman. I have never seen what's going on here.
Wow.
And I'm in shock. It's like sometimes I'm like, how is this happening? But then you think about it, all the stuff we're talking about,
Right.
the alcohol, the pesticides, the sprays, everybody has a
The
vape in
water.
their mouth.
Right.
They're not drinking clean water.
Right.
There's stress.
Yeah.
Pe-
Where the food quality
the food-
also isn't as great as it used to
No.
be, even if it's organic.
I know.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
like bell peppers, right, don't have the same nutrients that they used to like 30 years ago, I read somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And then, for me, like I started having a lot more grays than I ever had. I'm 31. And I did all this research, and it's because there's obviously it can be genetics, but I
Right.
don't think it is, because my mom didn't start going grayer until a little bit here's and there for her. And she's in her 50s. I'm 31.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was looking, and it's because there can be deficiencies in vitamins, right? And I'm like, oh, well, I might be missing these minerals then. What is it? Magnesium, not magnesium, magnesium,
Huh?
or the other one. So I just started taking that because I'm like, what is going on with our food right now?
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even, it's just the air too. There's a lot of things that I feel like need to be healed in America. It's intentional. It's a
Yeah.
sick healthcare system. They make money when you're sick. People walk into my clinic like, why aren't you everywhere? I'm like, why would they want me everywhere?
Right.
They're not going to make money off of sick people anymore. You find the cancer that early.
Right.
You don't have to do chemotherapy. It's a $2 billion industry.
Crazy.
2 billion Cancer's a $2 billion industry. Everything is about making money.
Right.
So if you think about it, if we start, you and I right now, we're healthy. We
Right.
don't want to be a part of the sick
No.
healthcare system. But the rest of the world is they're not doing the things that we're doing. So
I know. And it's unfortunate too, because I do have family members who have, chronic immune diseases. And
right.
it's really hard watching that when someone's had it for, almost their whole entire life.
Right.
And, seeing, yes, there's things that can be done, but you're still addicted to Western medicine.
Right.
And so it's hard to remove yourself from that when your body is so reliant versus allowing yourself. I mean, obviously there's real things that you do need Western medicine for.
Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely.
Western medicine is beautiful. It's
Yeah.
great. But
Chop your arm off. We got to go to the hospital.
yeah.
Can't go put some herbs on it.
No.
Yeah.
There's definitely a time and place for every little thing that exists that's helpful in life. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm very grateful that you have this place, because you are providing such a safe place and such an option for people to come that isn't also harming them. That's actually
No.
helping them.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I would never put your boobs in two plates and smash it and radiate it. I mean, all of that is scary and
Right?
barbaric, and I don't know
crazy.
how it's 2024 and that's still happening.
I had a mammogram script, or I don't know if that's what you call it, but I had
Yeah.
a mammogram script for when I was 29, 31, and I didn't come to until like 2 weeks ago, or whenever that was, like a month ago. Because I'm like, that scares me so much. Radiation at age 29.
Yeah.
And then also putting my breasts in something that's squishing them. I have breast implants. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound
They
nice.
don't talk to you about it. Like my clients tell me, their doctors will tell them, oh, the radiation is just like a flight from LA to Vegas. Who even wants that? I don't even go in the airport. Like who wants
Just a quick flight. Just
a
let me.
quick flight? Okay, and you do that quick flight every single year for 30 years.
Oh,
Why so it's like 1 in 8 are getting cancer, but why?
Right. Yeah, we need to get to the root.
Switzerland banned mammograms. You go to Mexico, they all do ultrasounds. It's like,
Interesting. They banned me.
yes, yes.
That's twisted. Why do we still? That's
I mean,
crazy.
it's just, things are pretty backwards here.
They are. I remember I studied in Europe in college, And one of the things I learned about advertising was that they will not allow to put on cereal boxes figures that kids will look up to, such as like cartoon characters, athletes, because that will make the child want to eat that cereal. Or even like our advertising in America for food is so bad. Let's make all the things super colorful. Let's put all these dyes in there. It's
Do you see what's
crazy.
happening with Kellogg's?
No. What's
Yeah.
happening with Kellogg?
Well, all the people who are behind Kellogg's, there's a huge movement of all these women and their kids and saying, why do you guys have all of these like ingredients? And they got like 200,000 petitions and like they're trying to like, take them down.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's great.
I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully they change.
And those companies like Kellogg's and those cereal companies are all connected to big pharma.
Yeah, I've seen the graph of
Weird.
like
Why is a cereal company connected
it
to like
right.
it's weird.
Doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense.
No.
No.
No. Well, I wanna talk about as well because you are such a beautiful entrepreneur and you have so many other talents as well.
Oh,
I want to talk about and kind of just transition to the entrepreneurial journey
right.
of building this because when I first met you, you said that you started this when you were 29.
Yeah.
And now we're here in this beautiful space and you serve hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And so what was that like kind of leaving and what inspired you
Right.
to be in this industry?
I love people. We had that
Yeah.
conversation earlier today. I love
People.
people, yeah, and I love helping people. So it's like we all have a dharma. They say that in Ayurvedic medicine. It's like your purpose. So I knew I wanted to do something in health, but nothing like be a surgeon or anything to do with blood, just something, clean. And ultrasound school was amazing. It was 2 years. And before that, I went to UCLA and I went to NYU for a completely different subject. I had a history major.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Always great to know history. That's
Yeah.
important.
That was
It has to do with health.
yeah, I guess.
Some way.
Yeah, some way. And then, after that, I graduated with a history degree. Usually, a lot of people went to law school or they became teachers, and I was like, neither of those is for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got to go back to school. And yeah, I found this program, and I loved it from the beginning. It's my favorite subject is science and physics, so it's just to learn the body and the anatomy and how it works, and to see the organs inside of somebody's body is just amazing. And then I worked for a gynecologist for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I learned the industry like in and out. It was basically like being in school again,
Right.
learning like the business side as well while I worked for her.
Wow.
And after 4 years, I really felt like nobody that was working there, they don't really see you. Like they don't, if you ask for a raise, like they'll say you could just get fired. Like how
Oh,
people treat.
yeah.
There was
Interesting.
no, and I played a
No
big
love.
role in there. I just feel like what this is. She just didn't treat me right. And I've always had that entrepreneurial side in me. I'm Jewish. I have two brothers, and it's like that hustler. Like,
Yes.
no, you can do whatever you want. You put your mind fire. Yes. Yes, and I've been around that my whole life, my uncle, my dad. So, yeah, one day I just woke up and I was like, you know what? Forget, I don't want to clock in and clock out and live paycheck to paycheck anymore. This is like not my life. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, I just called my brother and I like, can I borrow some money to start a
So
business?
cool.
And yeah, and that's how it all started with one machine. And
That is so
I
beautiful.
started,
and
I
inspiring.
rented a small room in a doctor's office, like literally 100 square feet. That's how I started.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I had no money. I'm like, I need to rent a room, I need a machine. And then I literally went knocking for hours every day to doctor's offices, giving them my brochures, explaining them what I did. And then,
That's so cool.
yeah,
That's so admiring too. The journey of a human's life, right? When you're starting from zero,
yeah,
which we all do in our own way,
yeah,
and you're going to one, then two, then three.
yeah,
And that is something just so admirable
yeah.
that you had this belief in yourself, you wanted to do, and you did it.
I did it. And I
That's
knew I
so
wasn't
cool.
going to fail. I'm like, I knew it. I just, in your bones, and
Yeah.
that's how it all works. Like you manifest with your mind. You're like, I would knock for like 7 hours a day. And then all of a sudden my phone started ringing. People started booking and I was like, and then I didn't have to knock anymore. you know?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so fulfilling too,
Yeah.
to now be here, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the beautiful hard work that you put into something.
Yeah.
I think that's so admirable. A lot of people like to just think that they can jump from one to another, but they're not looking at what it takes to really, really get there, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I did it all by myself.
No one was around you.
No business school, nothing. I like learned how to do my taxes. Like it's just you wing it and you learn like while you're in it. And you're having fun. I've always had fun with SonoBreasts. Like it's we're doing serious work, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's, you know?
We were talking to just earlier before we started about word of mouth. You know,
Yeah.
that's really where you get a lot of your clients. I mean, you've had some incredible, wonderful clients. All of your clients are wonderful, but you've also had like some really cool limelight with some of these clients, like Gwyneth Paltrow and some of these other notable, you know, females.
Right.
How is it that you were able to bring them through the door? You know, what was
They
that
were
like?
all referred by their doctors.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that was you knocking on those doors.
Knocking on those doors. Most of the people who come here referred by their doctors or like through their friend. Like you tell your friend. Um yeah, and it's just like that's you there's always a way to get your purpose out.
Yeah.
You know, if you sit at home, no one's gonna know.
Right.
So yeah, and it pays off. Hard work really pays off. So it's important if you're passionate about something, you give it energy every single day. I promise you something will come out of it. It could even be gardening. It could be walking a dog. It doesn't have to be something big, but you work on it every day and something will blossom.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? I just watched the Martha Stewart documentary.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that yet?
No, is
It's
it good?
really, really, really good. And what you just said reminds me a lot of just Martha Stewart's story,
Right?
who just worked to get better at something 1% every single day.
Yeah.
Went from gardening that her father taught her when she was younger,
Uh-huh.
when she was married to her first husband, to then started catering for her friends' events. And then started from there, a magazine saw her, and then she just started blowing up, having her own TV show, a magazine. And it's like these little actions, time over time, is what creates just elegance and just
Yes.
excellence.
Yes. Every day I strive to be better and better. And now I'm at the point where like I could breathe. So I'm like ready to expand.
Amazing.
I know.
What do you mean by expand?
I want to open more places.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Where? What's your dream next place?
Maybe like Calabasas. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. A
And
lot of
then,
people tell me I was opening a clinic in New York, which would
wow,
be amazing there.
wow,
I already have a list of clients that would come, but then the pandemic happened, and thank God I didn't sign that lease. And ever since the pandemic, I'm just like, we don't know what could happen again.
right,
You know what I mean? I'm just
right.
like, you never know. So,
Is this technology that you're using, SonoCiné,
uh-huh.
is it available, you know, like who can have this machine or who can get this technology?
Right.
Like, was it accessible to other people? Like, let's say there's people in Michigan
Uh-huh.
or people in Texas. Like, do they have
Right.
to fly here to experience?
I mean, yeah, the radiologist who created the technology, unfortunately, he retired.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So you do have to come here.
you have to come here.
Great, perfect, because
I had a client yesterday that came from Montana.
that's what
And I
we're.
asked her, how'd you hear about me? She's like, on a podcast.
Oh, perfect.
And I was like, really? Yeah. So it's like people like that care about their health. Once again, they do the research, they follow the right people. So they're divinely guided where they need to go.
I do feel like California too. I mean, you're here because there's so much magic within California. The actual, you know, the sand and the
Yeah.
water and everything else. And so people that are really healthy conscious tend to move towards
Yeah.
water or larger land, right? And so that's wonderful. I love that California gets to be just that breeding ground for health. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we have Erewhon. Where else in the country are there stores like Erewhon? There's now little ones popping up that want to be, that are inspired by
Yeah.
Erewhon.
Yeah.
But it's such a health focused and conscious place.
I don't
like
think
this one.
anywhere in the world is like LA, especially LA.
I know.
And I love it.
Me too.
You know, there's like non-alcoholic bars by my house.
I know. I've been there.
Have a fun And I'm just like, yes, like it's an awakening, you know. People are learning about seed oils, and a lot of restaurants are becoming seed oil free. People, and that's a part of self-love.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Is like when you care and love about yourself, you care about what you put inside of yourself. And people in LA, I feel like they do care.
absolutely.
Yeah, they'll spend $30 on a smoothie.
Yeah, because it has all the adaptogens,
Yeah,
minerals, and the things that you need.
yeah.
I actually try in my home to make my own little smoothie Erewhon section where I have like the lemon balm and everything that they the ashwagandha.
How did it go?
It's great. It's wonderful. I put it in my smoothie. When I was
Wow.
making a mocktail for myself once,
Okay.
and I had all of these, even white oak, I had all of these like concoctions of things, adaptogens that,
Wow.
I put in there, and I'm like, call Casey, my fiance, and I'm just like, I think I put a little too much of something in here. I'm like, I feel a little woo woo. He's like, let me try. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I want to talk on too, just there's more that you offer in this space.
Right.
Reiki.
Yeah, we do Reiki. I do Reiki.
Yes.
The sound bath.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about Reiki? Because I think I've only done it really once,
Okay.
a long time ago.
Hmm.
What is Reiki?
So Reiki is universal life force energy.
Mm.
So we all have it inside of us. We're all born with it, but you get attuned to it. So you go through this training, and it's changed my life. And once I use it on myself, I was okay, I'm ready to do sessions with people, and it's beautiful. It's just giving you really good energy. It's one of my favorite things to do. I even offer for free.
Wow,
That's how much I love it.
that's
It's
beautiful.
about giving this energy, and people feel it like right. I've had some crazy sessions and that people have seen God.
No way.
People have, yeah, it's when you sit still for an hour and you're just receiving beautiful energy, it brings up
Sure, the
the
vibrations that
vibration.
generate. Yeah.
So much happens, and everyone people turn into mermaids.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a medicine journey, especially with the sound bath and
That's beautiful,
yeah.
right? Because the frequency,
Yeah.
the vibrate when it's funny because when we talk about vibrations, like I want people to truly know vibrations exist everywhere, all the time, all around us, the same way that sound has a vibration, light has a vibration, our words, our voice,
Yeah.
like everything is
Everything.
a vibration.
Yeah, it's palpable, it's in the air. It's all
Right.
we are. We're just like in this meat suit,
Right.
but we all are giving off a vibration of frequency.
Exactly. And it's so cool because when people can really learn that and understand that, and I kind of talk about that in the book too. It's like we're like boomerangs. And that's kind of where like the word manifestation can come
Yeah.
because like you said, when you're raising the vibration, well, that's also going back to you.
Yeah.
It's both ways. And that's such
Mhm.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And even the technology that you use,
Yeah.
it's vibrations.
Yeah, it's crystals,
Right.
it's sound waves, it's all frequency. Frequency medicine is the future of the world. Like it's you can heal. I play 528 hertz like frequency all day here just to like
That's
put out the vibes, and
amazing.
that's all we are. You either feel someone's vibe or you don't feel someone's vibe. It's all in the electromagnetic field. We all have one, and it extends like 7 feet around us. So like obviously you and I, we vibe, we
Right.
felt each other's field, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just it's all how it is. It's energy.
So cool.
Yeah.
Do you practice at home as well, like meditation or other kind of like holistic wellness?
I do. I do. I let's sit still. I mean, after I leave here, I'm like I have nowhere nothing
You're
left.
giving a lot.
Giving a
You're
lot.
just giving. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. So I like to receive. So I'll go to like my friend's sound bath.
It's amazing.
Once again, the beach that like washes off the day for me like immediately when I just go in front of the water, put my feet and ground in the water.
That's so cool that you said
Yeah.
receive, by the way. I like to
Yeah.
receive because a lot of people don't like to admit that they like to receive or they don't like to receive. They feel ashamed to
Yeah.
receive. And when you cut off that energy of wanting to receive, you cut off the goodness
Yes.
of what can happen in your life
Yeah.
because you genuinely cannot receive without an open hand, right?
Right. Right.
And people continue to move up in life through the beautiful foundation and help of others.
Yeah.
Like you would not be so successful today without obviously first yourself, that's one, and then one to another, right? So you're building a
Right.
team.
Hmm.
and you're even now going to have another place, right? So it's important to receive.
You have, yeah. If you give, then your tank will be
Right,
empty.
right.
You know
You
what I
want to
mean?
overspill.
Yes. So that's my motto. I live by. My cup needs to be full before I give it to all these people. If my cup is not full, I have nothing to give. So that's
Beautiful.
why, sleep is such a priority. Spending time with people that I really love and care about. The things that like really fill my heart and soul.
Yeah.
And those are the things I do all the time. If it doesn't feel good, all my friends know this about me. I won't do it. I won't come. I'm gonna skip that wedding.
Yep.
It has to feel in alignment.
Yeah.
If it doesn't lift you, don't do it. Don't dim your light for anybody.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the older we get too, the more we have that tune with ourselves
Yeah.
and we're able to, because like when I was in my younger 20s, while I might have been able to maybe say some of this,
Right.
I didn't necessarily take the actions
Right.
that would align so certainly with those words, right? Like
Right.
you just said that maybe I won't even attend a wedding. Maybe I don't go
Yeah.
to that concert.
Yeah.
Well, that happens when you're so aligned with who you are and
Yes.
what you want to get out of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Because before in my 20s, I dimmed my light for so many years.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
Why do we do that? Because it's just, we don't know our power yet.
Right.
You know? We
Yep.
don't know who we are yet. In our early 20s, we're all lost trying to figure it out. But now I know who I am, and I will never dim my light for anybody. It's not, you shouldn't. If it doesn't feel good, once again, if you go into a room, it doesn't feel good, leave. Because I'm an empath, so I immediately like get physical symptoms when I
Same.
don't feel. You too?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get literally like,
Nauseous. Not like, I mean,
yeah,
I'm big on scents. Like their things start, I don't know, smelling weird,
right.
or like I'll be in an elevator and I could tell that there was someone in there that I'm like,
Yeah,
smells so, in case he's like, why? Like, what do you mean you can smell this? And I'm like, you don't smell that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, it's making me nauseous.
yeah.
It's
Probably bad
crazy.
vibes.
Yeah, bad vibes. I don't know. I've done a really good job over the years of just, or I should say, the past like even 15 years. It's funny, in school, I was bullied as a kid, but that's because I was so nice and so I always smiled
Right.
no matter what, and I didn't really care. Like I
Uh-huh.
wasn't, it didn't bother me.
Right.
And I was also friends with so many people that as I continued to move through life, I just continuously had that, like, I don't want to, I mean, positive energy. Like I got on the cheerleading team in middle school because I smiled, not because I was flexible. I remembered the routines. So as I continued through my life, I kind of just kept that with me and allowed it to amplify. And I'm like, listen, if you are bringing negativity to my life, it's not, you're not going to stay there,
Yeah.
because life is too beautiful to not
Mhm.
have the love and happiness and joy around you. Because
Mhm.
when you're not happy, or I guess on center,
Mhm.
it's harder to get things done. It's harder to pursue your passions.
And you get sick.
Right.
When you're not happy, literally your immune system gets suppressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was in Europe this summer and I got back, I lost my luggage. And I'm like you. I'm knock on wood. I'm a very happy,
Yes.
chipper person every day, but I lost my luggage and I had all my gifts in there.
Oh
So
no. That's the
like
saddest part.
I was like
Oh no.
losing my mind. I got so stressed that I got sick. Like literally, I manifested my sickness because of the luggage, and I literally had a nosebleed,
Oh no.
and I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
guacamole, what happened?" Like I saw it all happen because I was stressed with the luggage. I got sick. I got a nosebleed, and I'm like, you realize if this is what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my God, thank God I found the luggage," but it was a huge lesson for me, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you look how sick you got, because you know what I mean? When you're not when you're stressed, you get sick,
Right.
your organ starts to feel it, everything goes down.
So getting sick is kind of a good way to realize, are you aligned with yourself right now? Are you fueling yourself with the right fuel?
Right.
Are you giving yourself enough time? Right? Because sometimes being sick is also your body saying, hey, let's slow down really quick.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
had a friend who, I love that she did this. She was, we were supposed to have like some girls' lunch. This was a few weeks ago. And she's like, hey, I'm not feeling 100% right now for
Yeah.
myself. And it wasn't even that she had a runny nose. She just genuinely didn't feel like her cup was full. And she's like, I want to be able to give the most I can. I know this is just lunch,
Yeah.
but I would like to stay back so I can fill my cup. And I'm like, that's incredible. Yes.
Yes.
How can I help you? You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And it's,
Sign of self-care.
yeah,
Mhm.
self-care is really important.
Mhm.
So I want to kind of wrap up this conversation by just talking a little bit about, I want to bring it back to just women's health and breast health because again, for females, there's not too many like holistic, I feel like places that we can go to that are really looking out for our best interest. And you definitely have that and you do that. That's something you practice every day, which I'm so, so grateful for. So, what are some of the things that you kind of want these listeners to take away just about breast health and just wellness in general?
I think everybody needs to do the research and do what's best for your health. Just because your gynecologist says you need to do A, B, C, D, take birth control, do this, do that, don't be a sheep. I think having a brain right now and using your brain and doing the research and choosing the right providers is so important. When you have a brain, you choose for yourself, things will go the right way. But if you're like cattle, like sheep, like how it was, I'm sorry, with the COVID vaccine, everybody just went and got the vaccine
Right.
without doing any research. Don't be like that with everything else in your life, with your health, your breast health, with your wellness. You are the CEO of your own health. You know what I mean? And choose your providers the way you choose like your partner. It's so important that you choose wisely because if you're giving your health to the doctor, you better choose somebody that knows what they're doing. So I have a whole team. I have an osteopath, I have a gynecologist, and all of them are my friends. Like we text. You know what I mean? I know how they practice. I could text them if I'm not, you know what I mean? It's not just like, hey, doctor, patient relationship. We have a relationship. They know me, they know how I eat, they know my life. And yeah, just choose wisely.
That's beautiful. Choose your practitioners like your partners.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. Do you know how many stories I hear?
why have I
Yeah.
not thought about it like that until now?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm going now, obviously, I'm going to be on a routine seeing you once a year.
Right.
And I feel that way. Like,
Yeah.
that's amazing. You know that that person has your best interest and
Yeah.
genuinely care.
They genuinely care.
Yeah.
You don't want to go somewhere where there's 30 people in the waiting room. They're waiting to just see for 5 minutes. I take almost 1 hour per client. When the other ultrasound technician worked here, she goes, we see 9 clients at RadNet in 1 hour. 9.
9 in 1
That's how
hour.
things get missed. She's
Well,
like,
what's the point of
well,
even do like what?
because it's through insurance.
Right, but
Yeah, it's just it's a
crazy.
different, it's a factory. You're not a
Wow.
human being to them. You're just kettle ready to go, like a horse. You know what I mean? So it's like find places where you're seen, you're heard. They ask you about your mental health. They ask you about your diet. They ask you how you're doing. It's all of those things are really important.
Wow, that's beautiful. Well, okay, last question. You're on the Happiness Habitat podcast.
Okay.
How do you define happiness?
Happiness is an inside job. It comes like from within. No one else can make you happy by yourself. So, I work on that every day and just, grounding, grounding in nature. You feel balanced, doing the things that like today I have a play day with my niece all day after work.
That's so fun.
That makes me happy. We're gonna dance for like 5 hours and have fun and just being happy, surrounding yourself with things that make you happy, but it's an inside job. You are happy from the inside out, doing the things that make you feel good, exercising, loving your body, taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
eating right, taking time for yourself, just all it's layers and layers and layers. And when you do the things that you love every single day, you're gonna feel happy. And once again, stay away from the negative people.
Right.
Stay away
Bad
from
vibrations. Bad vibrations.
bad vibrations.
You want to
Stay away from that. Yeah. Because their energy can damp yours.
Right.
It can bring your frequency down. Sometimes we'll have a client in here and like I'm just like a witch saging the whole place. It was like an hour. I'm like, what was that?
I have done that before. And like,
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. Someone walked in here and I'm like, we bring out sage.
Yeah. It's
Oh my goodness.
but they don't know.
No, of course not. And one of my, I'll just say this really, one of the things that I love doing, like one of my little challenges throughout the day that I love doing, I don't know if this is a Midwest thing,
Right.
but I like saying hello to people and I smile at people.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I don't get that smile or hello back, I'm like,
Right.
how can I get you to smile? I'm
Right.
like, how can I make your day a little bit better right now? Like,
Yeah.
you just smiled. Because when you smile, you release endorphins.
Right.
That's a chemical reaction of smiling. It's signaling to the brain that you're happy.
Yeah.
So you genuinely release endorphins. I'm like, how can I give you endorphins right now?
Yeah. 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 When I meditate, I always smile. Or breath work. You just try to like you're tricking your brain.
Right.
And you just feel better.
Yeah.
But I say hello to people too all the time. I think I'm nuts. Why is she so happy? Like when I moved to New York and I was 20 years old, I'm like, why is everybody so
Serious.
serious? And I would say hi to people. People thought I was like crazy. I'm like, all right. I was like, okay. They need to come to the sunshine.
They do. Come to the Sunshine State.
People in LA, I feel like majority of people here are happy.
I do feel that.
Yeah.
I think that's who we attract to, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Which is so, I feel like we could talk forever. We might need to do a part 2, everyone.
I
But we'll wrap it up
know.
now because I know you have another patient coming in,
Yes.
which is so amazing. So thank you so much
Thank you
for being on the Happiness Habitat Show.
Of course.
And I'll see you guys next time.